Following for you from overnight. The Minnesota State Patrol has just released the names of two people killed in a head-on crash in Clay County. They were 45-year-old Nathan Thompson of Ada and 49-year-old Tamara Green of Halstead. Troopers say the crash happened just after 8 last night on Highway 75 near Georgetown, which is about 15 miles north of Moorhead. They say Thompson's pickup crossed the center line and hit Green's SUV. 74-year-old Joanne Johnson of Neelsville, Minnesota, was a passenger in Green's car and was hurt, but she is expected to recover. New this morning, a Becker County deputy is one of two people hurt in a two-vehicle crash in Detroit Lakes. The State Patrol says Matthew Gerving had his lights and sirens on while trying to pass a semi yesterday on County Road 21. His vehicle collided with a semi as that semi driver was starting to make a left turn. Gerving and the semi driver, Brian Aho of Grandin, North Dakota, were both taken to the hospital in Detroit Lakes. Their injuries are not considered life-threatening. Also new this morning, 3 people from Fargo are hurt after a crash with a semi on an icy highway in Stearns County, Minnesota. The State Patrol says an SUV driven by 70-year-old Ton Butler made contact with a semi on I-94 near Melrose and rolled into the driving lanes. Butler and an 81-year-old woman and 31-year-old man in his vehicle were all taken to the Melrose Hospital. The driver of the semi wasn't hurt. Troopers say the crash happened right around 8:30 p.m., and they say the interstate was covered with ice and snow at the time of the crash. One person is in the hospital with serious injuries following a rollover crash. It happened on Highway 2 just west of Devil's Lake yesterday afternoon. 18-year-old Madison Clark was driving when her pickup slid on ice, entered the median, and rolled several times. So let's find out what we can expect weather-wise, especially affecting those roads out there. We check in this morning with meteorologist Lisa Green.
Good morning. I'm keeping a close eye on those reports from the DOTs around the valley, and we're looking at conditions that could be a little slick for you again this morning to start in the northern half of the valley especially, but even for some of us in the south. So we're looking at our camera, our live view at the Grand Forks area at the home of Economy there. You can see it's pretty quiet, but if you look at the parking lot, you can see there's that thin coating of snow there with the tire tracks, and that may be an issue for around a lot of places here today. Shiny road surface on the road there, and you can see that perhaps if it's not treated, some roads are going to be slick, and I know that there's crews out working on that both in North Dakota and Minnesota this morning. But until those get cleaned up, we're looking at some slick spots, so lots of time needed here today to start off your day in the north and in those places where we've seen that snow. It should calm down a little bit later today. We still have some flakes out there though too. A quick look again at those DOT maps. North Dakota DOT, yellow and purple in northeastern North Dakota. You can see that that means that we've got some ice or snow and covered roads there, and that covers basically the entire northeastern corner of the state. And same thing for northwest Minnesota. Blue and purple mean partially covered or completely covered roads there too. And I've been checking out the views on the plow cams from the Minnesota DOT and seeing some of those compacted snow areas as well. So back to our view here. Conditions out there right now, aside from the roads, are quieting down. Fargo's at 21. We didn't really get much snow or any snow in Fargo, so it's been relatively quiet there. Grand Forks, we're at 16. It's 23 in Fergus Falls. Still reporting some flakes in Devil's Lake right now. Wind out of the west into the teens. Those wind chills we talked about are in the single digits in the valley. So snow moving on. We're going to see some areas in southeastern parts of our viewing area still seeing some flakes this morning, but this is all departing, so it's quieting down for you. But if you're traveling in that direction, you're going to run into that. And check out your afternoon planner. It looks a lot like our current temperatures, maybe a few degrees warmer. We just don't warm up today. Teens, upper teens to some upper 20s. And when you factor in that wind chills are going to be 5 to 15 miles per hour, or 5 to 15 degrees throughout the day. I'm used to that being more of a wind speed than a temperature here. But of course, we're going to be talking about that more and more as we head into the winter. And it's going to feel more like late fall here in the extended planner. We're talking 30s, we're talking 40s, with a little bit of a chance for some precipitation coming up this weekend. If you've got some travel plans, I'll of course have more on that forecast for you coming up over the next couple of days.
It's hard for all of us to get used to it. Thank you, Lisa. The Salvation Army Red Kettle fundraiser is making some changes to ensure the safety of volunteers amid surges in COVID cases. Some of those red kettles will be unmanned to reduce the risk to volunteers. And any volunteers working at those kettles will be wearing masks. Kettles will also be sanitized on a regular basis, and there will be hand sanitizer available for those who wish to donate. Salvation Army will also be posting QR codes, which will allow people to donate digitally with their phone. There's also going to be a nationwide fundraiser at Walmart this year where customers can round up to the nearest dollar and donate that change to the Salvation Army. People are showing their support for a local coach and teacher who had a brain tumor removed last month. Justin Boehm is a father of 3, a coach for the Moorhead Spuds, and a teacher at Westside Elementary in West Fargo. A little more than a year ago, he started losing his hearing, leading him to get checked out by his doctor. The diagnosis? A large brain tumor. He's had 2 separate surgeries, the first causing nerve damage to his face. His co-worker at Westside took action this week, posting a GoFundMe account online with a goal of $20,000.
Monday, so about 4 o'clock, I finalized it. I set a goal, and by the time I went to bed that night, it was like $800. I'm going, wow, that's great. I mean, it's only been about 6 hours. Then the next day, we got halfway there. We got halfway to our goal, $10,000.
By last night, they were well over that $20,000 goal. And if you want to donate, we have more information at valleynewslive.com. Just click on this story. We all know someone diagnosed with cancer, and we all know how terrible it can be to fight. The Sanford Health Foundation wants to help those battling cancer and their families as they hold a 24-hour giving event today. We check in live this morning with the Valley Today's Brian Sherrod to talk about how easy it is to help. Good morning, Brian.
And good morning, Lisa. You're exactly right. It is pretty easy to help, especially with everything being online. It's even easier. And of course, I'm here with Michael Burson to let us know how we can help as well. Explain the need, especially with this growing number of cancer patients that you guys are seeing.
Yeah, the need is actually growing quite a bit. In 2019, we saw over 2,500 new patients. We're seeing over 400 patients a day. And as the social work department, actually, we saw 33 patients a month for lodging concerns alone. We are noticing that with the pandemic, our patients are extremely stressed out. They're scared for their health. They're scared to go in public. They're making decisions to not see family and friends. Many of them are being asked to not work. So this is actually the only place they're coming outside of their homes. They're anxious. They're feeling isolated. We believe that this is truly our generation's greatest moment to help people who are in great need. They're vulnerable. They're really needing our support. So anything we can do. The Change in 24 website is critical. Go on there, please. Anything you can help out with would help our community greatly.
I want to thank you, Michael, for being here with me this morning. And what Michael just mentioned, the website is on our website as well. So make sure you go on our VNL News app or our web channel, and you can see the exact website to go and donate. So, Lisa, I'm going to toss it back to you in the studio.
Those patients and their families have enough to worry about. Definitely interesting to hear all of the ways that this money can help them out. Brian, thank you so much. COVID-19 continues to challenge all of us, including landlords. Orange Property Management of Fargo says they had 3 deaths in their apartments in one day. So they've come up with a checklist for their renters to follow if something like that happens again. They say you should let people know who you have listed as emergency contacts and also let those people know your landlord's information. The Minnesota Vikings will no longer seek permission to sell tickets to fans for their remaining home games. The Vikings say Minnesota's rising infection rates and hospitalization rates mean they're giving up on trying to increase crowds beyond the 250-person limit right now of family and friends of players and staff. Minnesota reported a record 56 new deaths from COVID-19 just yesterday, a more than 55% jump from the state's previous record of 36 deaths reported on Friday. A downtown Fargo restaurant and bar is getting some national attention this week. Exciting story. Pounds along First Avenue North will be on diners, drive-ins, and dives with Guy Fieri tomorrow. The episode will be on the Food Network at 8. The restaurant posted on Facebook saying the whole experience was incredible and they can't wait to see the episode. Let's get our answer now to our question of the morning on Facebook. 80% of us say we have never really thoroughly cleaned this. We had some pretty funny guesses this morning, but the answer, their microwave. Ew, work on that. It's hard to do, but you got to clean it out. Remember, you can play along every weekday morning by heading to our Valley News Live Facebook page. Remember, the Valley Today continues right now. You can join us for more live up-to-the-minute news and weather on the Fargo CW.